Vivian, you're muted.
Okay, it's like a mistake.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Vivian Onya. I'm a cybersecurity engineer, and I will be your host and facilitator for the session and for the journey we are about to begin together. I'm truly excited about what we are building here because this is not just another talk. It's about preparing you for real-world cybersecurity. And I'm also pleased to introduce our guest for today, Emmanuel Megbena. Emmanuel is a cybersecurity analyst. He brings hands-on experience in SOC operations and incident response, and he will be sharing valuable insights drawn direct from the real industry practice. Please join me in welcoming Emmanuel.
Yeah, thank you, Vivian.
And also, I have on the session Colin Sokafo. He's our moderator today. He's a software engineer. So before we begin, I want to reassure you of one important thing. Before, you don't need to have everything figured out to be here. Being willing to learn is enough, right? Because cybersecurity is becoming more important every day, and as technology continues to grow, so does the need for people who understand how to protect systems, data, and users. This bootcamp is designed to guide you gently but intentionally, and we'll take things step by step, focusing on understanding rather than rushing. So you will learn through hands-on exercise, quiz, and reward experience. You may feel challenged at times, I know. That's completely normal. And then learning something new always comes with challenges. What matters is staying consistent and open to growth. So by the end of this program, our goal is for you to feel more confident, more capable, and more confident. So right now, Emmanuel, we'll hand over to you.
Okay, thank you, Vivian. Thank you for that. My name is Emmanuel Wemena. I am a cybersecurity analyst or cybersecurity professional of, I would say, 5 years thereabouts. And I work professionally in the field of cybersecurity. So I mean, I know what it is. I know how challenging it is, sorry, for people that are trying to get started in this field, or even though you've started to some extent, it's actually hard to keep up with the field of cybersecurity. So I think this webinar, not the webinar, sorry, the bootcamp, and also this session we are having is it's going to be an exploratory one where would answer a lot of questions, and then we'll look at a lot of things, some myths that you've heard before. I think most of them will be debunked in this session. So yeah, so you I really appreciate Nexsecure Cyber for putting together this bootcamp, and I'm sure that you would really enjoy it because it's not just one person that is taking you. They've put together lots of cybersecurity professionals that are working in different aspects in their fields. Those in the GRC parts, those in the SOC, so you have at least around 4 or 5 tutors during the boot camp, so you're getting lots of variety. Yeah, so without wasting much time, I think we can get started. So before we start, just okay, so before we start, just so that we lighten the mood and all, this is supposed to be a very interesting session, and I'm expecting lots of questions as we go on. So we'll start with introduction. So I've introduced myself, Emmanuel Women. I can look me up on LinkedIn, social media, anywhere, even on YouTube also. You can decide to look me up. So we would start with introductions. Just you're going to tell us your name and then your current role. Are you a student looking to maybe you're almost graduating and you're trying to break into cybersecurity, or you're someone that has been working for some time, maybe in a role that is entirely different from cybersecurity? Maybe you're doing accounting, you're doing product management or something different, and you want to break into cybersecurity, or you're someone that maybe even studied computer science or something related, but you want to get into cybersecurity. So just let us know your name and then your name and what you currently do. Are you a student or you're working? If you're working, what role are you currently working in? So that's just all. No extra things. We want it to be quick so that we'll have enough time for the session. This session, we want it to last for just about an hour. So by 3 p.m. We can't hear me. So sorry, can someone confirm? Someone said we can't hear you. Is it just me or is just Israel?
I can hear
And
you.
okay, good. Okay. So
I can
Israel, I
hear you
think is
too.
okay, great. So Israel, I think it could be your network. Maybe try rejoining. Yeah. Okay, so thank you. I'll just call you. So once I call you, you can just introduce yourself again. Just name what you currently do, simple, and then we move on. During the main boot camp, then we can get more info. So I would start with Franklin. Franklin, you can please introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Franklin. I'm an entrepreneur, basically. I've been working for for some years now, and so currently I'm just into different type of businesses, growing small business and you know growing my own personal business, which is basically just selling normal groceries. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you very much, Franklin. Thank you. You're welcome. Bimileke, please, can you introduce yourself?
Okay, hi guys.
Yeah, hi,
Good
welcome.
evening.
Good
So,
evening.
okay, right. I'm Gbemi by name. So I'm into operations, hospitality basically.
Okay.
So I'm interested in, having much understanding about cybersecurity at the start. So that's
Okay.
basically just what I do. So yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much. You're welcome, Bimileke. Nene, please, can you introduce yourself?
Oh,
Mm. Oh, sorry. Okay. I don't know if I muted you. You can unmute. Oh, sorry.
okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yeah, clearly. Yes. Good afternoon.
Hello. Okay,
Yeah.
my name is Amogo Grace Nene. You can also call me Sister Nene. In the VAPT part of cybersecurity, that's vulnerability assessment and penetration testing. And I have 2 years of experience. I'm also
Oh,
into food production. I produce package kilishi, and then I'm also a graphics designer.
wow.
That's pretty much all for now.
Thank you very much,
Okay,
Nene.
you're welcome.
Okay, I think Zedin, uh, you're already unmuted, so yeah, can go ahead and introduce yourself.
All right. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
My my name is Zaidin. So that's my online identity, as per se, an intermediate knowledge in cybersecurity. So my offline identity is Ebirin Victory Chimeremezi. So I just
Okay.
graduated. I'm into
Okay.
property. I'm into property management and also a data annotator.
Okay.
We get
Okay.
AI for machine learning. So
Oh,
that's all.
okay. Thank you very much, Zaidin. Thank you for that introduction. Who have I missed? Okay, Israel. Israel, can you introduce yourself?
Hi everyone, good afternoon. Yeah, my name is Israel. I'm into logistics and transportation. Actually, this is my first experience in cybersecurity, and I hope to learn more and also to navigate life through it. That's all for now.
Okay, great, great, great. I hope by the end of the boot camp you would get just enough knowledge to be able to navigate the career path. Thank you very much for that introduction. So Machuku Onoha, yeah. Please, you can introduce yourself.
All right. Good day, everyone.
Good day.
My name is Oluhamachukwu. I am a data acquisition engineer. I work in the oil and gas industry.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. You're welcome. What else have I missed? Okay. Emmanuel Chigozie, can you please introduce yourself?
Hello, good afternoon, everyone.
Yeah, good afternoon. Welcome.
My name is Emmanuel Chigozie. I'm a freelancer. I work from home. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much. I think what was remaining, let me see. Peter. Okay, Peter, I think you introduced yourself on the chat. Yeah, so Peter said I'm Akudo Peter. I'm a businessman. Okay, you're actually in the markets. Okay, so that's fine. Welcome, Peter. Glad to have you here. So I don't know if I'm missing anyone. If I'm missing anyone, Lillian, I don't think, have you introduced yourself, Lillian? I think Lillian and Beauty. Any of you can introduce yourselves so that we'll get started.
Hello, good afternoon, guys.
Good
My
afternoon,
name
Lillian.
my name is Lillian, and I'm watching from Owerri.
Okay.
So I want to say hello to everyone, and I'm looking forward to interact and gain a useful skill that will help me in my cybersecurity field. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Welcome, Lillian from Owerri. Beauty, I think you're the last but not the least. So Beauty, you can go ahead and introduce yourself. Okay. All right, seems you're unable to, okay, let me add some mute. Okay, seems you're able to get Beauty's introduction. Okay. All right. So that's fine. You can just introduce yourself on the chat just so that we save time. Thank you everyone for your introduction. I see that we are all from different backgrounds. We are doing different things, different places. Someone is from Owerri, some people are from Lagos and the different states across the country. So you're very welcome to the Nexsecure Cyber, should I say, introductory webinar or bootcamp webinar. So we'll just get started with what we have for you today. So before that, I want to ask a question, and I maybe someone can answer. You can answer on the chat in case you are not where you can unmute, but if you can just unmute your mic. If you want, you can also raise your hand. You can use the React. You see React. Then when you click on it, you can then raise your hand to answer the question. So the question is cybersecurity. Do you think is saturated? Is the field cybersecurity? I know we've been hearing cybersecurity for a year, 2 years now. It's almost like everyone is scared to miss out on the next big thing. So do you think, we here think cybersecurity is a saturated field now where everybody is going to, everybody's there, or there's already so many people that it's be hard to get a job? Who thinks that?
Hello.
Yeah, hi, Franklin. Yeah.
Yeah, so personally, I feel like
Mm.
there's no field that there are not a lot of people going into, you understand? So for me, cybersecurity is never exaggerated, you understand? Because the fact that it has to do with securing the internet space, so it says a lot. It's gonna be there forever. So I don't think it's an exaggerated field or space. I think it's something everybody should personally have a knowledge about.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Franklin. Does anyone have an opposing response to that, or we all agree that cybersecurity is not over exaggerated? It's not saturated. When I mean saturated, it's not like filled up where everyone is rushing to and there's no space to employ people again. Yeah, so I think I will just answer the question. Thank you very much, Franklin. So yeah, cybersecurity is not saturated at the moment. So there are still jobs available out there for cybersecurity professionals. So if you are looking to get into cybersecurity, this is the right time. You're not late. You're not, maybe right now you might be underskilled because for cybersecurity, for most roles in cybersecurity, we see a lot of people being underskilled. By underskilled, I mean not having enough knowledge to apply for that role because cybersecurity is not um, a sort of role where you just go in and then you start doing stuff. If you break things, people get affected, businesses get affected and stuff. So that's why they need experienced professionals in that field. So right now it's underskilled, um it's not saturated basically. So you just have to know that. So it's good you're taking the right step by joining this boot camp, and hopefully you're able to gain one or two knowledge that would help you to kickstart your cybersecurity journey. So again, I'm sure I will talk about that later on. Cybersecurity is not just somewhere you'll say, oh, let me do. You need to understand what it entails fully before getting into the field. So I expect lots of questions from you. Again, you can always raise your hand if you want to interject or ask a question along the way, or you can just put it in the chat. I'm sure our moderator would see it and then notify me. So also Beauty, I've seen your introduction. I'm Beauty and I'm a software quality assurance engineer, IT project manager. I currently work with a UK company as a QA engineer. Okay. Okay, good. Your purpose of being here is to gain more insight about penetration testing aspect of cybersecurity. Beautiful. All right, thank you. You're very welcome. I hope you learned that. I hope you get enough knowledge. So I would start with, where is cybersecurity headed in 2026? Usually, when we hear cybersecurity, we just think is one career or one field where things are not moving. But with cybersecurity, every day something is changing. What you knew yesterday is different today. The way we hack something is maybe different from the way it's currently being done now. What was hackable 2 months, 3 months, 1 year ago might no longer be hackable, or you might not be able to penetrate that using the tools you used those years ago and stuff like that. So it's cybersecurity is ever changing. It's just moving, and you have to follow the pace. And also, it's now lots of businesses are now interested in cybersecurity because it's either that they are interested in it because of they know the value, they know that we need to protect our business in terms of our systems, our assets, our resources, and all of that. Or what I see mostly in Nigeria is that most people are trying to get cybersecurity staff, trying to trying to get more knowledge on cybersecurity because of compliance. So there's a cybersecurity compliance policy that the CBN has put, which is making banks and financial institutions to want to meet that compliance, because if you don't meet that, there'll be a fine and they could even shut down your business. So it's either that getting into cybersecurity or getting cybersecurity staff, resources, and solutions because of compliance, or they're doing it because they know the value and they know the damage that will happen if they don't have maybe a cybersecurity professional, or if they don't take cybersecurity serious in their organization. So the second thing about cybersecurity, or where cybersecurity is headed in 2026 is AI. So you can't remove AI and cybersecurity. They are like together, even though artificial intelligence and machine learning, they are different things entirely from cybersecurity. But in cybersecurity, we see ourselves using AI, we see ourselves using machine learning. So most of these softwares, most of the tools you use on your maybe your email platform, being able to tell you when you made a mistake, or for you to be able to generate proper emails, all this Copilot and everything that is integrated with some of these tools that you use, they have AI embedded in them. And if those AI systems are not safe enough, if they are hackable, if it's easy to penetrate them, then there's a problem. So we've seen a lot of AI powered phishing. So I know we've not introduced the concept of phishing, so I don't want to use that word, but there's lots of AI powered hacks. Let me just put it like that, since everyone, we're all familiar with hacks or hacking. And then also deepfake. We've seen, I'm sure for those of us that go to Twitter, TikTok, even YouTube, sometimes you see videos. Trust me, you see videos, you're watching this video and you're like, oh, how did this happen? But you don't know that it's an AI generated video content. And there's a huge problem because right now there's currently no solution that can easily tell you that this video is AI generated. So you can't maybe get a software and then upload the video to say, let me test if this video is AI generated. So there's nothing like that now. So most times what all these social media platforms like YouTube, TikTok do is that they tell you as a content creator, if you generated this video with AI, just state it there. So there's a button you just click and say it's AI generated, so that the people watching would also know that it's AI generated, and you don't mislead people. Because with deepfake is basically, maybe let me because I don't think I've explained the concept, but it's just like you see maybe Tinubu's picture or video where he's talking and it's not actually him that is talking. So that's the concept of deepfake. So we've seen lots of those things outside there, and it's now very difficult to know which information is correct and which one is wrong. And you as a cybersecurity professional, or you that is trying to get into cybersecurity, you can take up so many projects maybe around AI, trying to maybe create a solution that can easily detect AI. I mean, if you can do that, you'll be one of the maybe richest or most powerful people in the field, in AI field and cybersecurity field. So yeah, I'm sure they are working on something like that. But for now, there is nothing like that, which requires cybersecurity professionals to be active in detecting this. There was also an incident, I think last year or last 2 years, where I think this one happened in Hong Kong, where a CFO, chief financial officer, or not a CFO, there's someone that they hired newly into their accounting department, and then he got a call, a virtual call, just like we're having this Zoom call, but I think it was via Meets, or yeah, Teams, sorry. And then he saw the video of it was as if he was speaking with his CFO, and the CFO authorized him and said, oh, please make this transaction of, I think it was around $25 million to this person. And the person did that, authorized that transfer. And it was later that it was discovered that that was AI. So the video was not actually, it was deepfake. The video was not actually the CFO. It was someone that used AI and deepfake to create that video, talking in real time and all of that. So we have lots of problems that we need to solve. How do you know that I'm currently speaking to you live? How are you sure this is not AI generated? Or how are you sure someone is not just... So again, these are things, there are problems that need solving, and this is where cybersecurity professionals come together to try to solve these problems, or at least put enough things to mitigate or prevent any bad thing from happening. So that's it. So we'll be hearing more about that during the boot camp. Then there's also ransomware, the case where you download something and all of a sudden it encrypts your computer. So when I say encrypts, again, this is a cybersecurity term. Some of us know what it is, but basically it's going to prevent you from using anything on your computer. Your files will become inaccessible until you pay a certain amount to the person. So some of us might not have encountered that, but again, this is something that we would see more of in 2026. So organizations now are moving away from being reactive. So they're not just reacting to, oh, we have someone is trying to hack us, or, oh, someone is trying to take our application down, our mobile banking app, someone is trying to hack it, someone is trying to bring it down, or someone is trying to do this. So they are no longer reactive, they are now proactive. They are saying, how can we make sure that our mobile banking app is secure and no one can at the back end transfer money or do all those things? Or how can we be sure that this our child deck app is secure and nobody can be ordering free food without actually paying money? So again, it's cuts across all the industries, not just banks or maybe fintechs or even the health industry. So cybersecurity is relevant in everywhere you can think about. Oil and gas, there's a cybersecurity professional there, the banking, everywhere. So that's where we are seeing cybersecurity heading in 2026. So some of the trends include zero trust. So again, don't worry if you don't understand some of these concepts. We would explain them when we get into the bootcamp itself. So identity. So there's a lot of identity thefts and all of that. So compliance is one thing also that people need to meet this year. There's a lot of compliance and regulations to be met in terms of cybersecurity. And if you don't meet it as an organization, then you get beaten basically by the authorities that have put those policies there. So yeah, cybersecurity is going to be big in 2026, and I'm sure we are going to be ready to undertake whatever challenges come and solve whatever problems come relating to that. Thank you. So I would allow my colleague Vivian to speak about some of the skills and roles that will matter the most, because cybersecurity is quite broad. And some people ask me, oh, Emmanuel, how do I know what cybersecurity pathway to go get into? Should I actually, because most people like penetration testing, hacking, anything that has to do with hacking, people like it and people want to hack. They want to hack something. I want to hack my partner's WhatsApp. How can you help me with that? Or I want to do that. Yeah. So some of those things or some of those reasons are why people get into cybersecurity. But cybersecurity is not just about hacking. So there are lots of fields that you would find yourself or you find interesting. For those that studied law, maybe after you studied law as your first degree, and then you're looking at, oh, I don't really want to start learning technical things from the beginning. So we have this compliance and all of that. So yeah, I think I'll just leave that to Vivian to just talk about some of the skills and roles that will matter the most, and then we'll take it up from there. Thank you.
All right, Manu, thank you very much for that wonderful presentation. So I'll talk about the skills and roles that will matter most in cybersecurity. Many people believe that cybersecurity is only for geniuses or people who have been coding since they were kids. I guarantee you that that's not true. In real cybersecurity work, what matters is that this is how you think, not where you started. So some of the most important people in this field are those who pay attention to details, ask questions instead of assuming it, notice when something does not look right, and are willing to learn every single day. Cybersecurity roles today and even more in 2026 need people who can observe, analyze, respond, and not just people who can write codes. So for example, in role like SOC analyst or incident response, your job is to monitor systems and investigate alerts, right? So how do you monitor system and investigate alerts? So you need skills. You need to know like scripting like PowerShell scripting. If you are monitoring Windows, you want to monitor the events that happen in the Windows. How do you monitor it? So many people just say, oh, cybersecurity is all about coding. No, it's not all about coding. You can do scripting. You can learn how to write bash scripting. You can know how to write PowerShell scripting, because script will help you to automate your task, make your tasks look easier. It's faster when you are using scripting. So instead of you repeating the same task every day, you just write a script and you schedule it every day. That script will just run at the particular time that you want it to run. So you need scripting, right? It's not just only coding. And you don't need to know everything at once. You need to be curious enough to ask, why did this happen? And patient enough to follow the process. There are also roles like cloud security and governance, risk and compliance, where understanding systems, risk, and policies is more important than deep coding skills. So these roles are ideal for people who are detailed oriented, organized, and communicators. So those are the roles for the people. So if you are doing like pen testing and you want to be a good pen tester, what are the skills you need to know? If you want to learn ethical hacking, what are the skills that you need to learn to become a hacker? So number one, you need to learn how to use your Linux operating system, because you cannot be a hacker without learning how to use Linux command. You cannot be a hacker when you are not comfortable. When you see command line, you see dark screen, and you are confused. You cannot be a hacker. So a hacker must learn Linux commands, PowerShell scripting, Windows commands. You'll be able to be comfortable when you see command line interface. You don't need to be like intimidated when seeing command line interface. So another thing that you need to know a little bit of code, even though you don't at least have the foundation. Foundation of coding is very important, because from experience, I was testing a mobile application, and in mobile application, we need to learn. We need to know both static and dynamic testing. We need to do the two of the testing. So static testing is the test that you do when it is not in production, maybe when it is not in use, when it is static. Then dynamic is you are testing it while you are using it. So in that static testing, you need to analyze like the assembly, like debug decompile the mobile application, the APK file, if you are testing an Android, or if you are testing a iOS, you need to decompile the hyper file of the iOS. Then once you have done it, you need to like go through the code, try and search for vulnerability, see how the developer created that mobile application, analyze it, see the technologies that the developer use, what they use to build that mobile application, see how it works, just analyze the code, go through the manifest, see how they write the manifest there. So by so doing, you'll be able to get the vulnerability that is there. So if I did not have maybe any practical on or any fundamental knowledge of coding, I don't think I'll be able to understand all those code that is there, right? Because if you do a back end, automatically you can be able to understand any back end code, because they are all in the same structures. They follow the same structure. They just follow the same structures. So the same thing with front end, right? The front end, if you're able to know HTML, CSS, JavaScript, you can be able to relate to the front end, what it can do. So, and if you are testing a website, you need to analyze the web application, like analyze the code, see how it works, go through the code and see what you can do for you to be able to hack it. So if you are a penetration tester, you need to like have the knowledge of coding, the knowledge of operating system, and also you need to have the skills like the fundamental knowledge of networking, right? How the iOS and the OSI modem modem works. You need to know what an IP is, type of IP, class A, class B, class C IP. All those things, all this stuff is what you need to know as a beginner in tech. Because if you don't have all this fundamental knowledge, all this background knowledge, I don't think you'll be able to build from there. Because when there's no fundamental knowledge, like background knowledge. I don't think you can build with it. So you just be going up and down like. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is what the cybersecurity feature will cover. Sorry, what the cybersecurity bootcamp will cover. This bootcamp is about this bootcamp is not like, it's not about overwhelming you. It's about building you. So it will take you from confusion to clarity, from like fear to confidence, and from I don't understand to I can handle this. You can learn how attacks works, how defender respond, and how real professional thinks. So every lab, every session, every task has one goal. That goal is your growth. Right? Is your growth. So Emmanuel, over to you.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, so thank you very much, Vivian, for everything you said. It's really, I'm sure they're sort of getting an idea of what to expect in the field and for this bootcamp. Just also to add to what you're to expect for this bootcamp. So again, it's important that you don't just come to take attendance, basically. So it's not an attendance session where you come and just say, oh, let me just attend meetings. So there are going to be tasks, assignments, lab works, and all of that. And I think majority of what you would learn would be self-taught to some extent, where you have to also be able to perform some research. So if nobody's going to spoon feed you, and you have to, so if, for example, you are given an assignment on to carry out a task, if it's not something you know or something that was not taught in class, then you have to use resources like YouTube. You can ask your tutors. I'm sure you'll be added to the group with your tutors. So you can ask and say, oh, I'm having challenges with this. How do I go about this? So it needs to be something you are willing to learn. So there will be hands-on labs. You would see how attackers attack and how defenders defend. So I'm sure you'll be trying to have it in mind that if there's a hack, how do you stop it? If someone is hacking you, how do you even know that you're hacked? Again, most of us, your computer, your phone that you're currently using to watch this might be compromised. When I mean compromised, someone might have hacked it. I mean, to some extent, but you won't know. It's not like your phone or your laptop will be slow, or or your camera will turn on. It might not always be like that. Someone could just be there waiting for the right time to strike. So I used to tell people, sometimes you think, oh, your phone, I've never been hacked. I've never been hacked. There's nothing there. But you might not know that someone has been there waiting for when 1 million will enter your bank account. And that's when the person would transfer the money. Maybe because 50,000, 20,000 has been entering your OP or whatever bank accounts or bank app that you've been using. Because the person is seeing 20K, why will I take 20K now? Let me wait for when 1 million enters. And it's when that 1 million enters, maybe in 1 year time or 2 years time or in 3 months time, that's when they strike and then clear your account. And then you're like, oh, what happened? I never saw anything. So it's always like that. You will get to learn some of these things and how they work and how you can defend against them. Then those that are trying to get into SOC, you will understand what the role of SOC, that's Security Operations Center, what they do and all of that. So I think you would get to see, would share. I don't know I think that's already been shared. If that's not been shared, we'll share that, how the boot camp will be structured, the topics that will be taught by each of the tutors. Then you can always go to research or read on it before the session or follow through, but you'll see everything that is expected. But I'm sure that has already been sent. So there'll be hands-on labs, there'll be real world case scenarios, and then a lot of practical stuff. I know some people might not, or anyway, when we get to the point where we understand the difference between technical part of cybersecurity and the non-technical part, then you would now make a decision on, I think I want to go more into the non-technical part, or I want to go into the technical part. But for now, because this is the basics, you need to know everything. Everything that we are teaching here, we are not going to go advanced, because there'll be an advanced bootcamp that we will have after this one. And that one is now where we now go advanced and start doing typically what the advanced people doing, the advanced cybersecurity professionals doing their places of work. But for now, you need to be grounded with the basics and all of that. So when you after the boot camp, you should be able to make a decision on, I don't want to do so many technical things. I like documentation. I like following up on someone, so you could go into the compliance, governance, risk, and all of that. If you decide you want to hack, or you want to get your hands dirty, then you can go to the technical part. So yeah, by the end, you should be familiar with all of that. Now, how do you prepare or position yourself for success during the entire boot camp? So I think before the boot camp, you need to just first of all, be in the headspace that I'm coming to learn, and I want to learn this, and I'm going to learn it by force, by hook or by crook. So if you've put that in mind, and then you follow the lectures, you follow the labs and all of that, your willingness to also practice outside the sessions, because again, I don't think we'll be having more than maybe 3 sessions a week or thereabouts. So it might not be sufficient time to get or learn a lot of things. So at some point, you need to be self-taught. You need to be able to practice outside what is being taught in the class, the 2 hours or 3 hours duration of a class. You need to be able to go and then get more information. And then it's always good when you installed something, or you tried to do something and it didn't work as you expected. And you say in the class, you say, oh, I tried doing this yesterday, or I tried researching on this and I saw this. Is it true? Or how can I do this? How can I make it work? So those questions, your tutors will really be happy to help you with those things. It just shows that you're learning and you're willing to grow. So these are the things that I expected of you during the like before the boot camp and during the boot camp. So again, no one is expecting you to be perfect, because this is something that is entirely new to some of us. Some people already have 1 or 2 years experience, but that's also fine. But even if it's new to you, we are going to be going through the basics, everything you need to know. And then in the end, the essence of all of this is, I'm sure no one just, except you want to, there's some people that just learn cybersecurity for to be able to protect themselves as individuals. So you should know what social engineering is, where someone calls you and say, I'm from your bank, blah, blah, blah. Or someone says, oh, they send you a WhatsApp link and say, click this, we are giving free airtimes, or it could maybe that one. I mean, that one is 2023. They don't do that again, but you might see something similar, and someone just send a file and say, maybe even on this group, someone can send a link and say, oh, this is the link to the recording. Again, I'm not saying that when you see the link to the recording, you'll be scared, but you might see a link, someone sending a link and say, this is the link to the recording, or this is the link to download the course resources. And it could be a malicious link that if you click on it, your phone could get hacked, all of those things. But again, I'm not saying you should be scared about all those things, but yeah, people learn cybersecurity just to have that knowledge on by themselves and be protected. They know what not to click when they're using their computer. They know that they're supposed to have a good antivirus and all of those things. So people learn it to either work in a career path, or just to have that knowledge as a person. So whatever the case is for you, it's still good. So yeah, I think we've covered a lot of what to be expecting, what the whole cybersecurity landscape is. When we get to the bootcamp, at some point we will now break down the different cybersecurity roles. So the SOC, the pen testers, those doing bug bounty, how to even make money. Because some people are like, oh, how do I even actually make money if I don't have the traditional 9 to 5 job? Can I freelance? I heard some people saying they're freelancers. You can also freelance in cybersecurity and make money as a freelancer. You can write policies, you can do bug bounty. There are lots of you can do cybersecurity consultancy, you can do cybersecurity training. So there are things you can do aside to get more money, aside working in 9 to 5, like people always think cybersecurity entails, even though majority of it is a 9 to 5 kind of work where you work for an organization, but you can also freelance on the side, or do that full time. So you get all that information. Some sometime during the bootcamp, either at the beginning or towards the end, when you've gotten all the knowledge that would help you to make that decision. So yeah, I think this is time for questions. If you have any questions or contributions, you can go ahead and raise your hand, or you can unmute and then ask your questions, and then Vivian or
Yeah.
I would answer the
So
question.
sorry,
Yeah.
to add to this, to what you just said now. So success does not depend on who show up consistently. As in, it depends on who show up consistently, who practice a little every day. Because I had some people like they're asking me, how do you know all these things? So every day, just make it as your main priority, that every day you must learn one new thing. Every day, one new thing. As long as you're in cybersecurity, as long as you want to focus on cybersecurity, you will learn till you die. So every day you learn, every day you practice, every day you practice. So you don't quit when things feel hard. Some people, they want to maybe install Linux and it's difficult for them. They're like, oh, they'll just give up. I'm tired of this, and this is wasting my time. As in, they'll just feel sad, or maybe they see somebody, they say, this person is higher than me. So all those things, you don't need to just quit. So you need to believe in yourself. You need to improve, always improve in yourself, improve your skills, always improve your skills. And also, if you are doing this boot camp, I want to give you a specification of the type of system you use. You can use five for the hard drive, 500 gigabytes is okay. 500 to 1000 to 1 terabyte is okay. Then for the RAM, you can use 8 gig RAM to 16 gig RAM is okay. But if you are using 4 gig RAM, it will crash your system. If you are using 350 gig RAM for the hard drive, it will crash your system and your system will not work. So if you are using 4 gig, don't just upgrade your hard drive, upgrade your RAM. So for everything, I just feel that my final message for me to pass you is you don't need to be perfect to start doing cybersecurity. You don't need to know everything. You don't need to be willing to. All you just need to do is just to be willing to learn and grow. You don't need to compare yourself Mr. A is higher than me. Mr. A has learned so many things. Then you now compare yourself with that person. You don't need to compare yourself. So that's it. You are free to ask any question. Thank you.
Thank you, Vivian. So if you have questions, please, you can unmute yourself or raise your hand. I'm not sure if you can unmute yourself. So you can just raise your hand, or you can ask in the chat in case you are not sure you can speak, and then I would answer the questions. So we have just 1 minute per question, or just so that we can finish by 3 p.m. as scheduled. Yeah, Bimleke asked Dell or HP. I think that was in response to my message where I said would share the specifications of the laptop on the group chats just so that you are prepared. But yeah, you need a laptop to be able to undertake this boot camp. It doesn't need to be the best laptop, but at least it needs to meet the specifications we would share. And in case you're just trying to make a laptop purchase, maybe if I assume that's why you're asking the question, Dell or HP, it really doesn't matter. But if you're looking for, I think personally, as someone that has used computers, I think Dell computers are usually stronger or more sturdy in terms of if both of them falls, the HP will most likely spoil compared to Dell. And then in terms of just ruggedity or how rugged it is, I think Dell is better, but it doesn't mean you should just be going for, oh, I want Dell, I want Dell. If you don't see Dell, you can as well get HP. I'm currently using a HP, which is my work PC. It's also good. So But what matters is not really the brand. So it's the specifications, the 8 gig RAM or 16 gig RAM or the 1 TB storage and all of that. So that's what matters, not necessarily the brand of the laptop. So I hope I've answered your question, Bimileke. Thank you for asking that question. So any other questions? Okay. I see. Okay, there's a question. What sets can we go for after boot camp? So, that's an interesting question. So, really, after boot camp, I think during the boot camp, there will be, aside the certification you get of completion that you completed the cybersecurity course and that program, and that you were able to go through the labs and assignment. Aside that one, for professional certifications, would also be recommending a few of them to you during the program. There are some that maybe you will do one before the program ends, but after I would also share a few. So the reason I can't recommend right now is because there are different certifications, and I used to tell people, don't just take random certifications, cybersecurity certifications. It really doesn't matter. It depends on, you take certifications that are relevant to what career part of cybersecurity you're going for. Typically, if you do CompTIA Security Plus, which is the basics, or ISC Square CC, which is the basics, that's fine. But if you want to take other, maybe a bit more advanced or intermediate, not advanced certification, then if you're in GRC, you want to be looking at C risks or something relating to the GRC part of cybersecurity. If you're going into penetration testing, ethical hacker, then you want to be looking at CEH. If you're going to SOC, then you want to be looking at maybe even OSCP or some SOC related certifications. Again, so these are the things there is a session we have in the bootcamp that's going to go through all of that, so that you would make the right decision in terms of certifications, and you don't just go waste your money because everybody's doing it and all of that. So yeah, thank you. So we have 1 or 2 more minutes to round up. Any other questions? Again, in case you forget a question you're supposed to ask, or you can't remember one now, you can always feel free to interact on the group, ask your questions on the group and all of that, and then someone will, I think they're already, if I'm not mistaken, the tutors are already on the group, so they would also be able to answer the questions on the group. Do I need to have a set to get a cybersecurity job? That's also an interesting question that we would save for the boot camp. But the short answer is, okay, go ahead, Vivian.
Okay. So the question is, do I need to have a set to get a cybersecurity job? You don't need to have a set to get a cybersecurity job, because I will use my own experience for as an example. So before I got my cybersecurity job, I didn't have any certification. I didn't know anybody in the industry. All I just do is to improve my skills, learn so many things. Almost every day I learn. I try to upskill. You understand? So when I did a boot camp and they see that I participated very well, I do everything, the assignments and everything. They like me, the way I behave, the way I do my work. They like it, and they give me a job from there. So even from this boot camp, you can even get a job from boot camp. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you must have a certification before you get a job. Just know it. So many people now have certification, but if you tell them, oh, come and do this thing, they will not be able to do it. But you that does not have certification, if you have the skills, you can be able to prove to them that yes, you can do this thing, and you do it, and they will prefer to take somebody that can do it than someone that cannot do it. So it does not necessarily mean that you must need a set, but to have a certification is an added advantage. So if you're able to have, as in have a skill, know how to know your skill very well, and you have a certification, is an added advantage. So that's all. Any
Yeah,
other
thank you,
question?
Vivian.
So
Yeah, I think
is
Bimileke asked a
monitoring
question.
is monitoring testing and penetration testing the same thing? Monitoring testing and penetration testing. They ask is it the same thing? If you are doing SOC, you monitor alerts. The alert can be, you can see a IP address that is suspicious, and you're like, this IP address is not supposed to interact with our network. How come? They start trying to, as in, monitor it, try to see the source, trying to see the destination that the IP is trying to communicate with, the IP inside the network that is trying to communicate with. So penetration testing and SOC, they are penetration test is all about trying to test maybe the network of or websites or mobile applications of an organization or individual. So you do reconnaissance to gather information about that person. So in that reconnaissance, we have both passive and active reconnaissance. So the passive reconnaissance is just like going to your social media handles. Maybe I want to get information about Emmanuel. I'll just go to his Facebook, type Emmanuel Mwengbena, then go to his LinkedIn, see where he's working, see his colleague, try to gather information about him, then try to know the type of the company that he's working for. Then I'll go maybe now from the man when I'm now going to the company, I'll just check what the company does and try to see the IP address of that company. From maybe I want to test their internal network or maybe the web application. I will say, okay, I'll use the IP address of that company. Then I'll try to find out so many things. So now going to the social media, going to the website is called passive. So the active reconnaissance is when you are touching the system, you are touching the network, you are pinging them, you are running Nmap scan on them. So all those ones. So for now, I'll just leave it like this now. When we get to the class, maybe by next week, when the class will start properly, then we can be able to reveal all these things to you guys, teach you how to do it, all these things. If you want to hack, you learn how to hack, but don't go and do illegal things. You understand? Don't do illegal stuff. Anything you are doing, make sure that it is legal, like it is ethical. That's why we call it ethical hacking. It is ethical because right now in this platform, we have people that have the mindset of both the black hat hacker. We have people that have the mindset of the white hat hacker. We have people that have the mindset of the gray hat hacker. So everything is depending on your mindset. So I can decide to use my own for good as penetration test, and you can decide to use your own for bad as a a black hat hacker. So you can also decide to use your own as a great hat hacker, like both of them, both good and bad. So we are all learning in the same platform. Everything depends on your mindset. Thank you. Is there another question? Which operating system is best to use during the boot camp? Okay, so the operating system to use, normally everybody use Windows as their operating system. Some people use Windows 10, some people use Windows 11, even though Windows 10 is out of life, like they are not, like we have all moved to Windows 11 because of end of life. Windows 10 is as they have ended the Windows 10 cycle, so we are now in Windows 11. So we are going to install VMware or VirtualBox. So in that VirtualBox, just like visualization, you are inside that VirtualBox, you are going to first of all download Kali Linux. You can download the ISO file. You can download the other one for pen testing, like for virtual machine. So once you download it, then you can now import it inside your VirtualBox. So that is where you create your lab. The VirtualBox is where you create your lab. So you can install more than 20 OS inside that VirtualBox, which in your normal computer, you cannot be able to install more than one OS. It's only one OS, but that VirtualBox will allow you to install like 20 OS or 10 OS, any amount of OS you want. So from there, you can practice it. Instead of you to hack outside, you can be practicing it in your own lab. Windows 10 has, another question, Windows 10 has reached the end of life support. Yes. All right, I hope I've answered your question. All right, thank you. I think that's all from my end. Emmanuel.
Yeah. Um, okay. Yeah, thank you, Vivian. And the box has been answered. And I think we've come to a good time where we can end today's session. So I'll just allow you, Vivian, to conclude. But thank you all for really joining. I hope you are excited to start the webinar again. Don't forget to ask any questions you need to ask on the group. And then you'll get answer to whatever question it is. Thank you.
All right. Cybersecurity is a journey, is not a sprint. So if you stay committed, I think this bootcamp can be the moment for you to look back on and say, this is where everything changed. So once you do this bootcamp, you will start seeing things differently. And the WhatsApp group chat is for you guys to be able to interact with each other. People should work as a team. Make that WhatsApp active, the group chat active. Any question you want to ask. Somebody in that group chat will be able to answer you. Interact with yourself, learn from each other. Even if you don't want to, maybe you want to um let me say, install Kali Linux and you're not able to do it, you can ask questions there. Somebody that knows how to do it will be able to guide you on how to do it. So that's what the WhatsApp group chat is for. So just interact with yourself, work as a team. That's all. Thank you for joining this call. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Emmanuel. Thank you, Collins. And thank you all for joining this session. Bye.
Thank you too.
Thank you, Match Crew.